Hi friends, Aerogarden recommends changing the water with every other feeding, which is basically once in a month. This is mentioned as a tip, but not as a mandatory step. So I always think, should I really go through the process of changing the water or just refill and let it grow? Let's look at the couple of gardens I have. I have gardens running at various durations. Starting with this garden is running for 94 days. I never changed the water. I never trimmed the roots. So let's open the tank and see how the root system is, how the water is there any mold, is there any necessity to change the water or trim the roots. Okay, here is my bowl. Let's take a look inside the bowl. Okay, look at this root system. This is looking beautiful. I see it's between white and brown. I can definitely say the roots are very healthy. And I don't see any issues underneath. So even though I haven't cleaned up the tank for 92 days, it's working fine. No issues with this. My second longest running garden is this Harvest Slim, which is having strawberries. This garden is running for 80 days. I learned a lot from this garden. This is a garden made me realize that cleaning or changing the water is necessary once in a while. Let me show you how it looks like underneath. Okay, here is the bowl. Let's see the root system. Okay, look how bad this root system is. Every plant has dark brown roots. That means this is root rot. I have been cleaning this system every week. I see the fresh roots are coming. I can see every plant has fresh white roots coming, but they are turning into brown again. So the root rot is continuing. But I can say at least cleaning the garden every week is definitely helping me. If I don't clean it, this plant would have died a month ago. So based on this experience, irrespective of how plants are looking outside, we must check the bowl, we must check the root system, we must check the water, and whether we need it or not, it is good to change the water once in a while. Okay, my third longest running garden is another Harvest Slim with some flowers. I have 4 flower plants growing in this garden. I never cleaned it and I never changed the water. I was always just refilling the water and adding nutrition. Let's open the bowl and see how the root system is in this garden. Wow, these plants have grown so tall and so wide. This is the first time I'm opening. Let's see. Okay, here I can see that the root system on one side is pretty good, but the root system on other side is not that good. They started getting brown here. So this side I have petunias and janthas, so both are doing good. The other 2 plants, snapdragons and calendulas, are not doing good. If I wouldn't have opened, I wouldn't notice this brownish spot. I can see the plants are growing fine. They're not as great as these petunias, but I can see they are good. I even got the flowers earlier. So I was in the assumption that this garden is good, but I just realized that it's not really. Let me take this pod out and show you what exactly happening underneath. Okay, if you take a close look, I see a lot of mold growing here on the sponge itself. This could be the reason, and this is the beginning of root rot. I don't know this plant can survive anymore. Anyway, I'm not going to keep this back in the garden. I'm going to move this to a Kratky jar and see if this plant can come back. Otherwise, I'm going to trash it. Let's look at the other plant. So you can see the mold on this plant as well. Looks like it just started developing. I don't see as mold as I see on the other plant. I see a lot of white roots as well. I'm hopeful that this plant can come back, but I'm not going to keep this in the same garden anyways. So the other two plants are doing fine. I'm just going to remove these brown roots so that at least like it won't spread. My filter is also full of roots. I think it's a good opportunity for me to clean up the filter as well. So since I opened it anyways, I'm going to remove some of the roots and I'm going to move the plants so that they have more room. So I removed a lot of roots. Let's take a look at the bowl. So here you can see a lot of nasty stuff. It looks blue and greenish. I don't know, it's algae. It's good that I opened this bowl. I found a lot of things here. So it's time to clean the bowl as well. Okay, I just dumped the water. I think it's much more visible. Look at all this nasty stuff. I feel so happy that I opened this bowl. Alright, all set. Came with 4 plants, but going back with 2 plants. Bit sad, but I think it's for a greater good. Finally, look at this bounty, which has snappies. This garden is pretty new. This started just 14 days ago. Let's take a look inside the bowl. Okay, here is the bowl. Let's open it. It's generally looking okay. Let's take a close look at each pod. Okay, look at this plant. This plant is looking super healthy. And the roots also pretty healthy, all white. But now, let's take a closer look. We can see the mold started. So I think this is going to spread and eventually going to cause the root rot here. Good that I opened it. I'm able to notice it. So I'm going to clean up and put it back. Take a close look at this pod. We can see a lot of mold. It just started, but it's already in pretty bad shape.
So the bottom line is, even though plants and gardens surviving without changing the water and cleaning the bowl, you never know when bad stuff starts. I feel like Aerogarden added this tip for a reason. Based on my experience so far, I definitely recommend changing the water and cleaning the bowl at least once in a while.